All right, 8th graders. So we're starting our next chapter. In this chapter, we're going to be focusing on writing equations of lines or writing equations of linear functions because a line is a linear function. So we're going to just jump right into it. Before I go through too much of this example, I want to remind you our equation that we're using is that slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. So remember that m is slope, which in these examples is going to be rise over run. And that b is our y-intercept, so that beginning point. So we're just going to start with this first one here. When we go to write equations of a line given a graph, the first two things you want to do is you want to identify what is your slope, what is your y-intercept. And the easiest thing to identify is the y-intercept because that's where we cross the y-axis. So that's happening here on this first one. On example A, that's happening at 1. So our B is going to be 1. So I know that that's one of my points. And then I'm looking for another whole number point. So I go to 1, I know I cross at 4. Right, so that's my next whole number point because it's 1 comma 4. That's what I'm looking for on the line. I don't want to pick something that's partway in between. From here, I'm going to count my rise and my run. So here I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going up 3, right? Up 3, right, 1. And so I end up with 3 over 1, which is equal to 3. So that's my slope and my y-intercept. Once I have those identified, all I have to do is plug them into the equation for m and b. So I'm going to do y equals, my m is 3, so 3x plus my b, which is 1. And that's our equation for that line. And that's as easy as it is. I mean, it really is that simple. So again, on this next one, m equals b equals, I always find b first just because that becomes one of my points I use to find m. So here I have my y-intercept. We cross the y-axis at positive 4. And then my slope I'm looking for, a lot of times I just travel down the line until I cross at whole numbers. So like here I crossed at whole numbers, that would be a good point. Oops, go back. This right here would be a good point to use. Another one could be that you notice it down here at the x-intercept. Either one of those will work. So I'm going to go with the closer one. Here I went down 2, so it's going to be a negative 2 and over 1. So I'm going to have a negative 2 over 1, which is equal to negative 2. And again, from here, all I have to do is plug in for m and b. So y equals negative 2x plus 4. And so then that is the equation for line B. So again, line C, I'm just going to take, I want to find m, I want to find b. B to me is always the easiest to find because it's where we cross the y-axis. So in this case, that's negative 3. I follow my line and I see that I have a point right here. So I went up 1. So I have 1 over, and I'm going over 1 2 boxes. So I have 1 over 2. So for my equation, I'm going to have y equals, and for this to be equation, we have to have something equals something. So it's not enough to just write out negative 2x plus 4. You need to put y equals negative 2x plus 4. Otherwise, negative 2x plus 4 is just an expression, not an equation. So here we have y equals 1/2 x. Now, you could put plus negative 3, but really, remember that a negative is the same as subtraction. So we're just going to put minus 3. So y equals 1/2 x minus 3. And seriously, find a slope, find your y-intercept. You've got the equation of a line by just plugging those two pieces in to the y equals mx plus b. All right, so let's look at example 2. We have a line that models the relationship between temperature in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. We want to find the y-intercept of the line. So y-intercept is where x is 0. So this point right here is telling us the y-intercept. as long as it'll let me draw my arrow. So I know my y-intercept of the line is 32. And then I need to find the slope of the line. Because we're not on the whole number of points, I'm just going to go ahead and do y minus y over x minus x. So I'm going to take 104, so y minus 32, which is my other y, over 40 minus 0. So again, y over y over y minus y over x minus x. Whew. So 104 minus 32 is going to be 72. And 40 minus 0 is 40. And I know that 8 goes into both of those, so I'm going to divide both by 8, and I end up with 9 over 5. So that's my slope. That's my y-intercept. Now it's saying write an equation for the line where x is the temperature in degrees Celsius and y is the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So y is going to equal my slope, 9/5 x, plus my y-intercept, which is 32. So that is our equation of a line. Again, we're using that y equals mx plus b, and I'm just plugging in what I found for my slope. Oh, there it is. What I found for my slope and what I found for my y-intercept for the m and the b. All right, now we're going to use the equation to find the Fahrenheit that is equivalent to 18 degrees Celsius. So Celsius is our x. So I'm going to do y equals 9/5 times 18 plus 32. And so I'm going to do 9/5 times 18, or the way I did it was 9 times 18 divided by 5. So right now I have that this is equal to 32.4 plus 32. So right now y equals 32.4 plus 32. And then when I add those together, y will equal 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And so 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 18 degrees Celsius. 64 sounds much nicer than 18. All right, last example. Here we have Amy began with $25 in her bank account and she spent $5 each day. And the line models the amount of money in her bank account. Now, you can use the graph. That's perfectly fine. But everything we need is actually here. Began tells us the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is where we begin. It's our initial value. So I know that B is 25. And then anytime we see this like each day or for every, that indicates slope. That's our keyword for slope is around. And so we spent, that's going to be a keyword for us on this one, $5. And so our slope is going to be 5 because it's each day, but we spent it. So it's not just a positive 5, it's a negative 5. And when we look at the graph, that makes sense. We're going down 5. All right, so from here, I just write that into the equation. Y equals negative 5x plus 25. Or another way to write it, y equals 25 minus 5x. Both of these are correct. They say the same thing. The negative stays with that 5x. And that's how we write the equation on line. So again, don't ignore all the writing when it gives you like a paragraph or a situation, because we could have taken our time and figured it out using the graph here, but everything we needed was in the paragraph itself, and we didn't actually need the graph. We could have done all, or actually we did all of it without looking at the graph. So that is it for writing equations of linear functions, at least that first section. So until next time, 8th graders, peace.